Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out the Oregon International Air Show at McMinnville. It's been a pretty great event with some caveats. Firstly, the lot. Now, clearly it isn't all like this. The majority of the lot is actually pretty well maintained. Just keep in mind that the on-field parking, well, it's on a field.
This trip took us to Northwest Oregon in a city called McMinnville. Now, you'll see the airport isn't all that big, just a single runway, but they actually did a lot with the space that they had.
So we've made entry into the event, and if you've never been at an air show before, what you get are a bunch of static displays of planes and helicopters like you see behind me now, as well as, obviously, the show in the air. If you're lucky enough to be in coastal Oregon around this time, this is an event you want to check out. Look at the crowd.
Now, you can't really see it from the outside, but there are plenty of booths with vendors here. I saw a flight simulator, there were people throwing axes, and there was even a credit union on site with a working ATM. And then the food. There are plenty of options to eat here, so you should be able to find something you like. Let's get a better look at the surrounding area. Thankfully, we found some nice people across the street who were willing to help us out. Thanks to them, we were able to get this aerial shot of McMinnville Airport. Now, aside from the lot situation, the only other issue we really had was the amount of traffic coming into the event, which got me to wonder what it was like running such a large event in such a small city. Thankfully, I got the chance to talk to some of the cool people who helped run the event.
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing great. It's a beautiful day for an air show.
I want to start with your name and your role here at the air show.
My name is David Wadley. I'm operations manager with the Oregon International Air Show.
I am Matthew Sweeney Wadley. I'm the vice president of logistics.
Hannah Wadley, whatever he tells me to do.
My name is Randall White, and I am gate captain for one of the main entrances. Today it's Blue Gate here at McMinnville.
And how long have you been doing this gig?
My 7th or 8th year.
Oh, so you've been doing it for a while then?
Yes, sir.
Officially, I've been on the books as a volunteer for the air show 15, 16 years. And off the books longer than that. We're probably pushing 20, 22.
Probably about 10 years officially.
Okay, nice. So you guys have been doing this for a while then?
About 6 years as a paid staff member, but about 15 years before that as a volunteer.
Okay, so about 21 years in total, sounds like?
Correct.
We are celebrating, I believe this is our 35th year as a show.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. We're very proud to say that since our mission began, we've been able to turn over $1 million back to our community.
Talking about the 35th anniversary, this, as far as I understand, is the first time the Blue Angels have been back in something like 8 years, right? How is that like for you guys?
As you may know, we actually do 2 shows a year, one in Hillsboro, one here.
Okay.
And Hillsboro is a wonderful location, as is McMinnville. McMinnville has just that extra amount of space in the air, which has allowed us to have the Thunderbirds. We had them last year, we had the Blues this year, the Thunderbirds are coming back next year. And so it's just having this talent in our sky again. We very much are thankful to the city of McMinnville to let us do that. And then on a more personal level, just to see them in the sky, you'll see them today. You'll see how tight they are together. Where a near collision is half a mile.
Right.
They're 10 feet from each other. You're gonna enjoy it. And I hope you all too.
Really nice to have them back, and luckily everything worked out for them to come back even with their big cargo plane they call Fat Albert. So that's been a blast as well.
Logistics here at the Oregon International Air Show is basically in charge of, if it doesn't fly and it's not owned by the U.S. military, logistics and ground ops get it placed onto the field so our guests can enjoy it.
Right.
That includes a lot of boring things. Tables, chairs, porta potties, like the ones right over there that you didn't want on camera. It's all that boring stuff, but it's the stuff that without it, those awnings, those tables, without them, you can't have a show.
It's not so boring at that point, is it?
It's not that boring in my mind. It's also very expensive.
As far as I understand, you actually got a few people into this as well after your experience.
I ended up bringing in my son and my daughter as soon as they were old enough to participate and be helpful around the field and be safe. So we brought them on board. Of course, now that my youngest daughter, was able to join, my wife was able to join us also, and my son ended up taking over when I got the paid position. He ended up taking over my volunteer position, and is now the vice president of logistics for the air show.
Nice. So it sounds like a big family kind of event then for you guys.
There are many families involved in the air show. We have one family that has 5 generations involved in the air show.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's been here for quite a while, and again, with the 5 generations, I think the youngest is probably around 10. It's his first air show, and he's out helping with the grounds cleanup crew.
Nice, okay, awesome. We might run into them today then, right?
We might.
Best part of doing these air shows is we get to give back. It's our main goal as a nonprofit. Not only do we give back as the air show, but we also have the Oregon International Charitable Foundation, which at Hillsborough partners with Hillsborough School District and has a great school where they get high school kids and middle school kids interested in aviation maintenance as a track, and they also work together with PCC, Portland Community College. And it's a great roadway into the aviation industry. Just the goal is, as the air show's model is, I forget what its Latin form is, but it translates to she flies with her own wings.
Okay.
And we want to encourage everyone to have an interest in aviation. Anyone can do it.
What might be some good things to know as someone coming into the event that you would love for them to know as a coordinator?
We understand you guys are out here to have fun, so some of the things that are on the website, keep all your pocket knives at home, bring your water bottles. We have fill stations in. We do have food vendors. We understand that not everybody eats the same, so there might be some dietary restrictions. We do our best to work with you, but do keep in mind you are coming to an airport, so there are some rules that we just can't allow. But if you have any issues, ask a gate captain. We can ask our supervisors, and we usually try our best to make everybody have fun and accommodate what we can. So please remember, when you guys come, we're about having fun and respecting everybody. So we're not going to do anything to turn you guys away. Just keep your respect to the volunteers as well, because like I said, they're out here on their own time because they want to be. So we're all about having fun.
The biggest thing I would point out is that there's always going to be some sort of problems, right? There's always it's going to be too hot. The parking is going to be a pain. Something. The biggest thing I would want to remind people for our particular show is that we do this for charity. We're a nonprofit. People like myself aren't paid. I'm a volunteer. So is she. We have very few paid staff. So when you come out here and enjoy this show, the biggest thing I want my guests to know is that we are doing this not only so that they can enjoy a weekend of amazing performances by some of the most talented aviators in the world, but also we're doing this for their community. Because every community member you see out here today has the opportunity to collect some of this revenue and put it to good use right back where it came from.
Well, keep in mind that the people that are helping run the event are almost all volunteers, and they're out here on their time volunteering to help make this as a great event as it has been and as it can be. Never do we have a perfect show. We always try to improve, but if you're having a great time, let them know. If you're having a little bit of difficulty, they can generally help. And just remember, they're out here volunteering on their time to be helpful to all of us, the thousands of the people here enjoying the show. We've got many who've been with us for 25, 35 years, who've helped create this and make this a viable experience for these tens of thousands of people that are out here today, and hopefully for shows to come. Enjoy the show. We've got a beautiful day for it. We're happy to have you here.
Thanks again so much. It was so nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
You guys have been awesome. Thanks again so much. Yes. It was really nice meeting you guys. Thank you so much, Randall. It was really nice meeting you. Thanks again for helping us get set up.
Well, this is an air show after all, so let's just enjoy the planes for a bit.
the prop right now, coming back through. And this is when the world starts looking really fast. Again, your lead.
This event turned out to be way different from what I was originally expecting. The staff were all very nice and welcoming, and they even helped us get on the phone with those in charge in order to get the green light for things we were trying to do. Not only was the staff extremely friendly and passionate about what they do, but so were the vendors and the folks at the static displays. Now, there was one plane that we had noticed while taking a couple of our other shots, and for whatever reason, it was tucked away in a hangar. Now, we had no way of knowing, but we were about to talk to two of the nicest people we had met at this event. But they also were involved in something that I think is really important, and I wanted to feature specifically in this video.
So my name is Jenny. I'm a crew chief for Dream Flights, and our role at a typical air show is to put our beautiful plane on display. This is a 1942 Boeing Stearman, and this plane was used as a primary trainer in World War II for the pilots.
World War II pilots trained on this frame.
That's right, and this one in particular actually trained down in Texas.
So are you guys based out of Texas?
We have our university, our training center down in San Antonio, Texas, and then we're based as an organization down in Carson City, Nevada.
And the organization is Dream Flights. What do they do exactly?
So we have several of these planes in our organization, and we travel around the United States giving veterans rides, focusing mainly on the senior living communities, bringing them out, celebrating the veterans for what they gave our country.
And from what I understand, this actually doesn't end up costing the veteran themselves anything, right?
That's correct. Thanks to our generous donors and sponsors, we have been able to sustain and give rides to over 6,000 veterans across the United States, and two of our biggest sponsors would be Sports Clips and Veterans United Home Loans.
And then Jenny, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of your husband. Tell me a little bit about your history and maybe even your husband's history as well.
I've only been involved for about 3 years. I started flying with Hunter and realized that as a two-man crew, if anything happened to him, I needed to know what to do. So it inspired me to get my student pilot license and log my own hours. And now Hunter, on the other hand, he grew up in aviation. His parents were pilots, and he practically has been flying since he was in his mama's womb, and then I think his daddy let him fly in solo by the time he was 16, maybe a little bit older, and then he made a professional career out of it. So now he flies for a cargo airline on a 777, and he's probably 30 years of experience flying.
I can see behind you there are a bunch of signatures on the tail of this plane. One, it looks awesome, but two, I have to ask, do there happen to be any veteran signatures on there?
So those are all veteran signatures.
Okay.
In fact, they're very special veteran signatures. They're World War II veterans. And in 2021, in a 2-month time span, we flew 892 World War II veterans during our Operation September Freedom.
Okay, that's quite a lot, actually. How do you manage to accomplish something like that? The scheduling and managing has to be a nightmare for something like that.
It was a lot of chaos, but organized chaos. We have a phenomenal team that works behind the scenes, and it was 7 planes running nonstop, 21 pilots, and crew chiefs like myself that made it possible.
So there are clearly ways to support your endeavors. How can someone go about doing that?
So you can go on to dreamflights.org and you can do a donation through there, and that's the other place you can actually nominate a veteran for a flight.
All right, Jenny, thank you again so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you at the next air show.
Of course, thank you.
And that's going to be the end of the event. A lot of cool planes, a lot of good food, and a lot of really cool people. If you're looking for something to do in coastal Oregon around September, October, this is something you want to check out. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.